says here, it is the exam time in the year 2020 and pupils are feeling tense. Suddenly gentle music starts to play, the corridors fill with a soft blue light and a soothing breeze blows through the classrooms. In another part of the school, a geography teacher creates a jungle in the classroom, complete with steam, heat and smells. Elsewhere, a history teacher recreates the freezing conditions of the siege of Leningrad. Intelligent school buildings which respond to people's moods are just one of the predictions made in a future report by Future Lab, the Bristol Education Research Centre. They predict in 13 years' time, pupils will have 24-hour access to a new kind of wireless network, incorporating the internet, television, and telephone through tiny devices in the fabric of their clothes. Pupils will, they've already done that in some schools in Britain, which I've read in the past, on air. Pupils will be able to look back at lessons at any time via special glasses which will record their whole lives, creating a reliable virtual memory. Well, you'll bet the authorities will be watching their whole lives and using this memory from their glasses. Haha, it's going to be a chip, I know. Back with more after this break. Hi folks, I'm Alan Watt, and this is Cutting Through the Matrix, going through the types of controls that are coming up and actually being installed right now in various schools in some countries. It says here, security in schools will change too. Advanced biometric full-body scanning systems embedded in doorways could allow pupils and staff access to different rooms without the need for keys, passwords, or retinal scans. And the system would refuse access to criminals and excluded pupils. Well, see, they're training a young group to come into a world where they're always going to go through this incredible types of security and scrutiny with no privacy whatsoever. That's the whole point of the training, to get you used to the fact of having and not minding, not having privacy. This is what Huxley was talking about, how people will love their servitude. Kerry Facer, the research director at Future Lab, said technology would become so embedded in closed everyday objects in schools that it would become harder to see where the child ends and the technology begins. That's interfacing with technology that they're taking us all through. She says there's a huge ethical debate that we need to have now about the potential effects of the surveillance on personal privacy. Well, do we have any? Do the public have any input on this? Are they asked? Have they even asked what they think? And of course, the answer is no. Will we assume it is normal for pupils to be tracked and monitored throughout the day? Well, in some schools they already are. I've read those articles before too. High-tech changes in schools would also pose questions about what pupils should learn in the classroom and how they should be assessed if information recall were to become redundant. The focus on the 3 R's could shift, for example, if the written word lost prominence in favor of audio and voice recognition technologies. They're already using some of this audio and voice recognition technology to get through into schools, through the gates. That's from 2020 and beyond. It says several of Future Lab's predictions are already becoming true. Intelligent buildings, that's already in. There's articles out there on intelligent buildings. Green End, primarily in Manchester, became the first UK school to install computer-controlled intelligent lighting that responds to pupils' biorhythms. There's classroom simulations. There's also a test-bed classroom at Grey Court School in Surrey, which allows teachers to vary environments using surround sound and projection screens. But it doesn't mention here is they're also putting cameras above the students, each student, and they're also putting recorders in, so you can study the blinks even from your eye to see how you're responding to certain subjects and so on. Observation and psychology. We're all specimens in a great laboratory, and we don't even know it. There's articles that came out of Vance Packer's book. There's been documentaries done showing you about these tiny little fisheye cameras that have been used all through supermarkets, which for decades have studied the flickers and the size of the pupils of the people looking at the different items on the shelves, and the people are utterly unconscious of them. And here you are being studied like a specimen because you are the prey of big business, obviously. Getting back to this article here, though, it says lessons in virtual worlds. They're going to have them in virtual worlds. That's already here to an extent. They want to add presence to it, so you'll think you're actually in a room with people. It makes you wonder why you have a body at all eventually. Maybe we won't. Well, that's it for tonight from a very, very cold interior Canada, where it's getting down to 40 below Fahrenheit. From Hamish myself, it's good night, and may your God or your gods go with you.